So yeah, there are a lot.
Hey Tipiters! Welcome to another episode of Vince and Yosh.
In this episode, we're gonna talk about more scams in Europe. Yes, even more. So this is the second of our two-part video series about scams. So if you missed the first part, give it a watch. You'll find the link in the description below. So in that video, we've discussed the first 8 scams, and these are very minor scams that you should still avoid, but they're not gonna do that much damage. But in this video, we're gonna talk about the top 7 scams based on our opinion lang naman.
At yung iba dito na experience namin.
Yes. So again, we'd like to remind you that this video does not intend to paint Europe as an unsafe or dangerous place. We only aim to make our followers and viewers aware that these scams exist in Europe, especially those who will be traveling to Europe soon. And these scams are not exclusive in Europe. You can find them in many other places around the world, but they surely exist in Europe because, as Vince said, we fell victim to some of them. So we're gonna discuss the top 7 here, and 5 of them we fell for. So yeah, so we know firsthand.
So before we begin, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button and clicking the bell icon for instant notifications para sa aming mga future uploads.
Yun na, game number 7, bar or club scam. So ano ba tong bar or club scam? When we were walking around, we didn't fall for this, just to put this out there this early. We didn't fall for this, but we were approached many times. So, for example, we were walking around in Poland, and some guy like approached us and said, what is it? Parang like sexy ladies, sexy show, things like that. And it's quite common in some parts of Europe to invite tourists to a club or a bar. Usually it involves some like sexy ladies and they target men. You will be encouraged to order something, a drink or food or like some snacks, ganyan. So, as in yung scam dun? So, yung scam dun is because na-entice ka nung sexy ladies eh. So, parang like, and then you'll be encouraged to order a drink or two. Sometimes, the drink may something there. So, you'll be drugged. Hindi mo alam na yung card mo kasi minsan kukunin, tapos china-charge nila yung credit card mo ng malaki. Or kung hindi man, kung babayad ka ng cash, ang laki ng bill mo. Like, minsan naaabot sa more than 100 euro for 1 or 2 drinks. So, ganun siya kalala. Meron ding mga reports, you'll see snippets of news reports right now, wherein tourists were charged like thousands of euro or pounds or dollars. Hindi nila alam kasi basta binigay nila yung card tapos ang dami nang charge dun sa card na yun. Tapos yun, hindi na nila.
May mga times daw doon sa mga report na yun na na-mention na ang ginagawa nila is kahit wala na yung tao dun sa club, na-charge pa rin yung card nila. May mga bills pa rin na pumapasok. So, feeling ko din illegally na skimmed na yung card.
Or tinitake nila ng picture yung card. Tapos wala kang magawa kasi lasing na lasing ka or drug nga kasi yung may drug yung drink. So, hilo ka pa nun. Ganun. It can range from like a few hundred euro to thousands of euro. Depende sa credit limit ng card.
Sasagalin nila.
So ano gagawin mo? Sometimes sabihin mo it's easy to get out of that situation. But it's not because you're trapped in that club and everyone kasabot nila. So, tas minsan meron silang mga bouncer pa na So, mahirap kumawala dun sa situation na yun. So, just try to avoid yung mga ganong klaseng
offers. Again, pag may mga lumapit sa inyo na nag-aalok, diretso lang kayo ng lakad. Mag-no kayo, diretso na lakad. Huwag nyo na silang entertain. Kasi yung mga iba dyan, for sure, may mga persuasive powers na maengganyo talaga kayo na itry yung mga kung ano man yung ino-offer nila sa inyo. Pero pagdating sa ganyan, pag nasa ibang bansa kayo, lalo na sa Europe, mag-no na kayo agad. Diretso lakad.
Siyempre marami pa rin mga legit na clubs kasi maganda rin naman yung clubbing scene sa Europe, 'di ba? Sikat naman din yung Europe for that. So if you really wanna try, then just make sure yung maganda yung reputation ng place.
Check niyo yung if gusto niyo talagang mag-club, check the reviews online. Yun lang.
Yun. Okay na? Okay na?
Okay.
Number 6, friendly tourist scam. So ano ba tong friendly tourist scam?
Ano ba yan?
So, okay. So it comes in many forms too. This one, we almost fell for. Yun. Actually, meron na kaming gut feel agad kasi. So hindi natuloy. Pero like, they attempted this on both of us. So when we were in Istanbul, I was taking a photo of the Blue Mosque and I was approached by a guy. Tapos, gusto niya nagpa-picture din siya. He handed me his phone, tapos nagpa-picture din siya. So parang akala ko, tourist din talaga siya kasi nagpapa-picture siya sa harap ng Blue Mosque. And then, after ko mag-picture, bigla siyang nagtanong like, where are you from? Ganyan, usual, ano. And medyo sanay tayo dyan kasi sanay ako sa hostel eh. So parang, usually ganun naman talaga yung conversation. So parang I was like, okay, the guy was just being friendly. Ganyan. And then he said, he asked, parang, are you traveling alone? Ganyan. That's when medyo kinutuban na lang ako. Medyo kinutuban ako. And then, moments later, I met up with Vince. So si Vince kasi at the time, nagpipicture naman siya sa may harap ng Hagia Sophia. If you're familiar with yung area na to sa Istanbul, magkatapat lang sila, di ba? Pinuntan ko si Vince sa may malapit doon. And then, may kinuwento siya sa akin. Ang kwento naman niya, ganun din. He was taking a photo. And then, in-approach siya ng another guy, tapos nagpa-picture din siya. Tapos, after niya magpa-picture, tinanong din siya, parang yan, where are you from? Blah, 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 blah. And are you alone? Tapos, ganyan, would you like to join? Ganyan. Di ba, parang it's too much of a coincidence na two different guys approached us separately and asking the very same questions. And both offering to tour us around Istanbul. Buti na lang, we followed our kutob. Tapos, ni-research namin siya. Apparently, it's quite common. So, what would have happened if we joined them? Dalawa daw yung pwedeng mangyari dyan. Either, number one, sasamahan ka talaga nila na mag-tour. Yayain ka niya, let's have a drink. Tapos dadalhin ka niya sa isang bar. Diyan papasok yung number 7 natin kanina. Pagdating mo sa bar, mapapainom ka, tapos overcharge na naman nila yung drink mo, or pwede ka nilang i-drug, tapos i-charge nila yung credit card mo. Yun yung scenario number 1. Yung scenario number 2 is, dadalhin ka niya sa isang, like, store, like carpet store, ganyan, rug store, ganyan. And you'll meet the a local family, tapos, hala mo, hospitality, ganyan, matutuwa ka. And then they will try telling you a sob story. They will guilt you into giving them money. Yung tipong mahihiya ka na hindi magbigay.
Or bibili ka ng
something.
Carpet.
Yun. Ganun yung mga pwedeng mangyari. Yun yung isang experience natin. We also have someone sa isang group. Nabasa ko, hindi ko alam kung sa support group natin or another group, travel group. But basically, nasa Moscow siya. Tapos, nagtitake lang siya ng photos. Tapos may isang group of women na nagpa-picture sa kanya. Tapos nung nagpa-picture sa kanya, sabi doon ng mga women, parang, selfie tayo, group selfie kasi natuwa sa kanya kasi mabait siya, nag-picture, ganyan. So selfie naman sila, ganyan. So it's a group. Tapos apparently, after the entire thing, nawala na yung wallet niya. Nakuha na.
So yun, parang follow your gut feeling talaga. If there's something, parang feeling na make something na mali, iwas na agad.
So basically, yun nga, parang pagka merong, it's good, di ba, na minsan may mga friendly locals na gustong tumulong, pero sometimes, always be on guard. Always take it with a grain of salt. Follow your instinct din, na parang if the guy or girl is being overly friendly, then baka hindi nga normal.
If it's too good to be true, then ayun na nga.
Meron din mga friendly talaga.
Meron talaga.
Na mababait. Number 5, petition scam. I think ito yung madalas din na nakikita natin eh.
Ilang beses na nangyari to sa amin, sa Paris. Na parang may lumalapit talaga sa amin na petition, may papers na dahil, tapos may dito, akala legit talaga sila na organization. Mapapirma sila, ganyan, may petition.
So, ano yung scam? So, madalas, lalapitan kanila, nagsa-sign language sila kasi supposedly it's a deaf-mute charitable institution. Yun, lalapit sila, tapos kunyari, hindi sila marunong basta nagsa-sign language sila, tapos may papakita sila sa'yo na petition na, basta paper, na pwede magsasign ka doon, tapos may parang petition siya. So, yun. So, susulat mo naman yung name mo doon. Ganyan. So, ano yung scam doon? After mo magsulat yung name, sisingilin ka nila for donation. Tapos, hindi rin sila papayag na kunyari 2 euro lang, 5 euro lang. So, 10 euro, 20 euro, 30, ganyan. First time to sa Paris, sa Charles de Gaulle Airport, meron akong kasama na photographer din. Tapos, paglabas namin, mag-asawa pa sila. In-approach sila, lady, na may hawak na deaf mute siya, kuno. Tapos may hawak siya na form, tapos pinapa-fill up. Tapos yun nga, parang, so ikaw naman, first time mo hindi kakarating mo lang So sobrang sobrang pagod ka rin, tsaka wala ka pang idea at all. So nag-sign siya, tapos siningil siya, tapos ayaw niyang pumayag ng umpisa, pero talagang makulit si ate. Dahil pagod ka rin, I mean after like 12 hours, 13 hours na flight, na lang din siya, nag-give in na lang din nagbayad para lang tantanan siya. Sometimes, marami mahida, yung iba hindi naman talaga sila deaf mute, kasi bigla sila magsasalita kapag ka nakakaaway, parang kakaaway mo na sila. Sometimes, hindi deaf mute yung front nila. Sometimes, parang girl students, parang mga female students na group sila, tapos parang papit sila sa'yo, na minsan bata, tapos yun. So, dalawa siya. Hindi ganun kalala na scenario, isisingilin ka lang nila for donation na sapilitan. Yung second pa na kung minalas-malas ka, dinudukutan ka rin nila. Habang pumipirma ka, hindi mo alam, dinudukutan ka rin nila. So, minsan, siya, na two-punch combo ka doon. Nagbigay ka na, nadukutan ka pa. Yun. Kasi minsan ginagamit din nilang cover. Remember dun sa previous video, yung table trick, yung meron silang mapa or na pang cover. Minsan yung parang ganon, yung kung saan ka pipirma, yung papel na yun, ginagamit din nila na cover para hindi mo makita na dinudukutan ka rin nila. And sometimes they operate as a group din kasi. Sa Paris siya, pinakamalala ko. I mean, like, Paris is one of my favorite cities, pero sobrang lala ng mga petition scams sa Paris.
Madami sila.
Pero meron din. Meron sa Poland, meron sa Spain, meron sa Italy, madami din. So,
pero pinakamadami yata, for me, pansin ko, Paris.
Sa Paris din. Based on experience sa Paris din, pinakamadami.
Number 4,
misleading money changers. So, ano ba to? Okay, una sa lahat, if you're asking about paano kami nagpapapalit ng pera, we're gonna share more information about that in our next video, which is all about practical tips when traveling around Europe. So, hindi na kami pupunta sa detail dyan. Pero here, let's assume that kailangan mo magpapalit ng pera sa money changers. In Europe, you'll find a lot of money changers, especially around touristy areas. Makikita mo, di ba? Money changers, currency exchange, ganyan. So, may mga naka-display na mga rates. So, ano yung scam doon? Kasi most of the time, these money changers operate naman within the confines of the law. So, parang legal naman sila. Pero ano yung scam doon? Isa sa mga common na scams, napansin ko na common to sa Poland at sa Czech Republic. Prague and Krakow. Krakow. Di ba, usually sa money changers, may naka-display na rate. So, kanyari, euro, ganito yung rate. So, ang ganda ng rate na nakalagay doon. Tapos nakalagay pa, no commission, ganyan, blah, blah. So, ang ganda ng rate. So, ikaw na may engganyo kang pumasok. Tapos sa kanila magpapalit. Kasi ang ganda ng palitan eh. What you don't realize is, yung naka-display na rate, ang nakalagay is we sell. Tapos yun yung selling rate nila. Now, remember, any currency exchange, may dalawang rates. The buying rate and the selling rate. So, selling rate is kunyari, ano yung euro selling rate? Basically, magkano nila ipagbibili yung euro nila sa'yo. Pagbibili nila yung euro nila sa'yo. Yun yung selling rate. Ano yung buying rate? Bibilhin nila yung euro mo. Always think of it sa perspective nung money changer. So, buying, bibilhin nila yung euro mo. So, selling, pagbibili nila yung euro nila. Ano yung mali doon? Ang naka-display sa labas is yung selling rate nila. Meaning, kung ikaw yung bibili ng euro nila, hindi naman yun ang common na...
Dapat hindi ganun.
Kasi dapat ang naka-display is yung buying rate. So, ano yung mali doon? Kasi, dapat ang naka-display na prominently is yung buying rate. Kasi ikaw, as a tourist, ang hawak mo is a foreign currency, hindi yung local currency.
Yung currency, kung saan ka country na galing. So, yun yung hawak mo na pera.
Basically, bibilhin ng money changer yung currency mo. Okay? Whatever it is, euro, dollar, ganyan. Alam ko nakakalito siya, pero tandaan nyo na lang, dapat ang naka-display is yung buying rate, hindi yung selling rate. para hindi siya nakakalito, gawa tayo ng example. So, kunyari, sa Poland, merong buying rate, selling rate, diba? Kunyari, ang hawak ko is dollar, US dollar. Ako yung turista. Tapos, nandito yung money changer. Nakalagay is yung selling rate nila. Nakalagay, selling rate, we sell dollar, tas ganitong rate. They sell dollars. Eh, hindi mo naman kailangan ng dollars eh. Dollars nga yung hawak mo. So, ang kailangan mo is yung pera nila, which is zloty. So, basically, ang naka-display dito is kung magkano nila pinagbibili yung dollar nila. Yun yung selling rate. Dapat, ang naka-display is yung buying rate. Magkano nila ibabay yung dollar mo. Ganun. So, dapat, yung buying rate yung tinitingnan mo. May iba naman, like kunyari, sa Prague, yung naka-display na rates, hindi yun yung actual exchange rates. May naka-display, malaking-malaki, pero may nakalagay na note sa baba, this is not the actual conversion rate. So, parang ikaw, so ano to? Wala lang, props lang talaga siya. It doesn't mean anything. Nasaan yung actual conversion rate? Nandun siya sa loob, tapos mas maliit lang siya na papel. So, ikaw, hindi mo naman napapansin yun eh, kasi nag-compute ka na sa labas eh, na gamit yung malaking display nila. Kasi akala mo, yun yung actual exchange rate nila. Pero actually, hindi. Ano lang yun? Pang-lure lang yun. Niloloko ka nila basically. So, maraming ganun. In Europe. So, be careful. Tingnan nyo mabuti kung ano yung buying rate sa selling rate. Kasi yung iba, may iba, di ba, na nakita natin, wala at all, kahit yung papel na yung official rates nila, wala. Don't get us wrong, hindi lahat ng money changers ay ganun. Marami ring mga honest and reliable money changers. Kailangan nyo lang silang i-research kung saan sila makikita. Pero ang dami rin, especially around touristy areas, na talagang mga, kawatan.
Do some research na lang online kung legit ba talaga yun. Okay. Kasi din, yung mga nadi-display lang ng mga selling rate. Nako, di ba? Pag nasa labas ka na, nung magko-compute ka na, kagaya na sabi ni Yosh. Tapos pag nakapag-compute ka na, naka-ready na yung pera mo, pagpasok mo pa, ibibigay mo na lang. Yun yung nangyayari madalas. So, paglabas ng mga syempre, pag nabigay mo na agad, ayun yung transaction, wala ka na magagawa eventually. So, ayun.
And also, wag na wag kayo magpapalit sa mga nag-aabang na parang, i-exchange ko yung, kunyari, nag-aabang sila sa may ATM area or sa money changers na mag-offer sila na meron daw silang cash, local currency, tapos exchange na lang kayo. Wag kayong papatol sa ganun. Baka fake money ibigay sa inyo or basta hindi na valid yung mga pera na yun. Number 3, ATM Dynamic Conversion. Ano ba tong ATM Dynamic Conversion? So, hindi siya talaga illegal kasi it works within the confines of the law. Pero it really feels scammy. Parang nire-rip off ka niya. So, ano ba to? So, basically, sometimes the best way to get the local currency is by withdrawing from the ATM. So, kami ni Vince, laging gano'n, whenever we travel, nag-withdraw kami from the ATM. But, sometimes, in Europe, there are a lot of ATMs around. As in, a lot. So, ano yung rip-off dun? It's the exchange rates. So, most of these ATMs will give you local currency at a very, very bad rate. Like, sobrang pangit na rate. Parang you don't notice it kasi most of the time kapag nag-withdraw tayo, nakakatamad mag-compute, nakakalito rin kasi. In fact, when we were in Split, in Croatia, locals, yung mga Good Samaritan lang na locals, may isang couple, matandang couple, tapos mag-withdraw sila dun sa isang ATM. Tapos may isang local, concerned local lang na sinabi na, no, don't withdraw here. Bad rates. Withdraw somewhere yung local bank nila instead na yung mga multinational na ATM companies. Yun. Ang dami nila, pero the exchange rates are really, really bad. But sometimes, even the local banks, the reputable banks, they also find a way to get more money from you. So, yun yung double dynamic conversion. So, ano tong dynamic conversion? Ilang beses ko nang sinabi, ano tong dynamic conversion? Ito, promise, i-explain na. So, when you withdraw money, the bank will ask, would you like us to charge you in your currency? For example, in our case, in peso or in the local currency. For example, if you're in Croatia, in kuna. So, would you like to be charged in peso or in kuna? So, paano yun? Kung peso ang pinili mo, ibig sabihin, sila yung magko-convert sa'yo. Yung local, yung bank na yun, sila yung magko-convert kung magkano may i-withdraw mo. Kung dito sa local currency yung pipiliin mo, yung bank mo. So, they will display a lot of messages encouraging you to choose your own currency,
Peso
not the local currency. Peso instead of kuna. Wrong! Wag yun. Kasi, the exchange rates that they are gonna use are really bad. As in, so, malaki yung mawawala sa inyo. So, lilit yung value ng pera. So, always remember to choose the local currency. If you're in Poland, choose zloty. If you're in Croatia, choose kuna. Alam mo yun, laging ganon. Laging kung ano yung local currency, dun sa lugar na yun, yun yung pipiliin nyo. Don't let them convert for you. Because if you let them convert for you, they're gonna do so at a very bad rate. Mako-compare mo siya eh. As in, kinompare namin siya ni Vince na kung magkano yung conversion kapag ginamit ko dito. Sobrang laki ng difference. So make sure, if you want to get the most out of your money, if you want more purchasing power, do not let the ATMs or even credit cards sometimes do the conversion for you. Always choose the local currency. I can't say that enough. Always choose the local currency. Ganito siya, like if they ask you, do you want us to charge you in peso or in your currency or in the local currency? Minsan, ang choice mo is cancel or continue or decline or continue. If you choose continue, ibig sabihin, ina-accept mo yung currency conversion nila. So, decline. Ganun. Tapos, pag chinus mo yung decline, meron pang isa pang message dyan. Like, are you sure? If you don't convert now, the exchange rate might change. And it can have like lower value than today. Ganyan, blah, blah, blah.
Huwag kayong magpapaniwala.
Decline. Laging decline. Basta always choose the local currency,
Basta
not your currency.
Pag dumating kayo sa last message nyo pa, are you sure? Press nyo na agad, yes.
Yes. Sobrang dami nila, as in. So, even if you go out of, parang, it takes extra effort to find a good ATM eh. So, okay lang yun. Marami rin namang okay na ATM. Number 2, overcharging taxis. So yeah, there are again, this is very common not just in Europe but all over the world, and dami-daming mga taxi scams even here in the Philippines.
Sa Pilipinas,
oo.
lalayo pa ba tayo?
Pero hindi, dahil Europe ang topic natin, let's discuss taxi scams in Europe. So, marami rin siya. So basically, their goal really is to take advantage of you not being familiar with the fares, the city. So ano-ano ba itong mga taxi scams na to? So, they can range from not using the meter, or they will charge you way more than normal, or they will take a long detour instead of the faster route, ganyan. And sometimes, meron din silang mga kung ano-anong mga modus operandi. Like we said in the previous video, yung taxi driver namin, na 3-hit combo kami. So una, yung meter niya ang bilis.
Mabilis.
Super bilis ng patak ng metro. Second is, he took like the long way. When we took that cab, it was already our 3rd, 4th day. So we were familiar with the layout, especially dun sa pumunta dun sa destination namin. But he took us like around, like dun sa ang layo ng dinaanan namin.
Super detour talaga, parang kung lalakarin, parang ang ano lang niya is 2 kilometers lang yung layo. Tapos ang ginawa niya, dinaan niya kami sa main square, tapos umikot siya doon, tapos lumaan pa siya sa traffic. Tapos ang ending din, hindi kami dinanap sa mismong accommodation namin. Dinap kami parang few meters yung layo pa doon sa ano.
You know why?
Accommodation.
You know why? Kasi meron siyang ipupul na 3rd scam, which is yung money switching niya. Kasi kung ginawa niya yon sa harap ng hotel natin, madaling tumawag ng police yung kasi 'di ba meron tayong parang guard sa hotel. Kaya niya binaba tayo dun sa malayo para wala tayong magawa. Parang ganun. Yung 3rd is na-switch pa niya yung money. So if you're not familiar with it, na-discuss namin ito in our previous video. So na 3-hit combo kami dun eh. So he used a tampered meter. He took the long way, like major detour, and he switched our money. So yun. So sometimes, ano yan eh, kapag ka medyo nagiging overly friendly yung driver, not all, kasi we've met a lot of overly friendly taxi drivers in Europe. Pero minsan, kapag ka nag-start na talaga siya na, is it your first time? Ganyan, blah, blah, blah. Medyo on guard na. Wala namang masama kung maging on guard ka, kung maging mapagduda ka. Okay lang na magduda. Yun. So, basta, always be on guard lang. kasi better na on guard ka, tapos it turned out na ay hindi pala, friendly lang pala talaga siya. Kesa nakababa yung guard mo, tapos
wala, na-scam
ka na. So yun, ang dami.
Ang sakit kaya sa paramdam ng ma-scam, lalo na nung na 3-hit combo kami. As in,
feeling mo ang bobo mo.
Oo, parang feeling mo talaga ikaw yung pinakatangang tao na nag-exist that day. Yung ganung feeling.
Pero, gusto na rin namin sabihin na if na-scam ka, don't beat yourself too much for it. Kasi, yung iba, magagaling lang talaga sila. Parang kahit anong talino mo minsan, magpo-fall ka pa rin sa kanila. Diba? So,
especially if galing ka sa long flight, sa mahabang travel, first time mo doon. As in, syempre, kahit anong gawin mo, pagod ka, dami mong dalang gamit, lutang ka, so kahit anong gawin mong alert, hindi ka 100%. Kasi naka-divert lahat ng attention mo.
Which is why, paborito ng mga taxi scammers ang airport na, di ba, kahit dito sa atin, sa Vietnam, sa Cambodia, ganyan, parang paborito ng mga tsakang taxi drivers ang airport kasi pinaka-vulnerable talaga ang mga bagong dating na turista. Paborito din nila yung mga touristy areas. So, laging ganun. Minsan may mga okay naman na alternatives like may Uber. Uber never failed us so far kapag ka kailangan. Pero bihira din kami mag-Uber. Lagi din, madalas din naman kami public transportation. Pero kapag minsan, alam mo yung sobrang pagod ka na lang, mas okay pa na mapamahal ka ng a little bit basta alam mo na safe ka kaysa mas mura pero parang paranoid ka naman. And now, after 2 videos, narating na tayo dito sa number 1, pickpockets. Ayan. So you might be asking, well, pickpocketing is pretty straightforward. There's nothing really like scammy about it. But we have to tell you that pickpockets in Europe are pretty creative. Like, they will go to great lengths.
May script
to
silang
distract you.
sinusundan.
Oo. As in, they're super skilled. They're very swift and mamamangha ka rin eh. Pero syempre habang umiiyak ka kasi nawalan ka rin something.
Pag inisip mo pa, paano yun? Napaka-elaborate ng scheme na ginawa nila.
Okay, so ano ba to? Ano ba yung modus operandi nila? First, they operate in groups. Hindi lang sila basta mag-isa na, meron din, maraming mga mag-isa, pero most of the time, they operate in groups. And the others will try to distract you as one person tries to fish your wallet or cell phone or whatever valuable that you have from your pocket or from your bag. Ano yung mga distractions na ginagawa nila? So, merong mga kunyari na himatay, merong mga nag-aaway, merong biglang natapunan ka ng ketchup or tubig na mainit or something. Basta minsan po ng ibon pag nasa labas, ganyan. Tapos, habang nag-aayos-ayos kang ganyan, may dumudukot na sa'yo. Yan. One of the most creative that we saw, unfortunately, nangyari kay Vince. This happened in Athens. So, kwento mo.
Ayun nga, di ba? Na-mention ko kanina na parang they will target you lalo pag nasa vulnerable state ka.
Like, pag bagong dating ka. From a long flight. Sakto first day namin yun. So galing kami ng airport. Parang ang dami kong bitbit. May dala akong backpack. May dala akong camera bag. And may kinakalagkad ako na luggage. So yun. Sa loob ng train actually, pababa na kami sa station. Biglang hindi magbukas akala ko hindi nagbubukas yung door completely. So biglang may kumari tumutulong sa akin. Gumagano yung door. Kunyari, tinatry niyang buksan pero actually siya yung nagpapagano nung door.
May pumipigil pala sa door. So ang dami kong dala. Akala ko guard na lahat, parang okay na. Yung backpack nasa harapan ko na, yung camera bag nasa harapan din. Tapos yung luggage parang hindi ako maalis ng bitaw. Parang nagpanik ako kasi in that moment naman, di ba?
Baka maiwan ka naman.
Baka maiwan
ka sa train.
Oo, baka maiwan ako sa train. Tapos wala na. Parang nung tinatry kong i-open yung door, nawala yung yung kamay ko sa pocket ko. Nandun kasi yung...
Kasi gano'n yun.
Oo. Nandun kasi yung phone ko din. Tagal ng scene niya yun. Nung nakalabas na ako, pagkapa ako sa phone ko, sa bulsa, wala na siya. So parang ganun kabilis, as in.
Wala ka na rin kasi nung halis na yung train, hindi mo na sila mahahabol. Nakababa ka na tapos umalis na yung train.
Wala na ding way kasi sakto pagkalabas ko, nagsara yung door.
Yun. So marami silang ganyang drama. Kunyari, hindi mo bukas yung door, merong nahihimatay, merong nag-aaway, merong biglang sisigaw, ganyan. Tapos magugulat ka, tapos hindi mo alam, ganyan. Basta ang dami nilang ganap. So, you have to be really on your guard kapag when you're taking public transportation, especially the metro in Europe. Yun. So, how do you avoid that? First, kami ni Vince, when we travel, wala sa iisang lalagyan yung mga valuables namin. Yung money namin, hindi sila nasa wallet lang. In fact, yung wallet namin walang laman. Yung credit cards, basta credit cards tsaka yung cash, dapat wala sila sa isang lugar. Dapat nasa magkakaiba sila. Bumili rin kayo nung money belt or money bag na nandito lang siya sa katawan nyo.
Belt bag?
Parang belt bag na tago, yung hidden. Yung gamit nyo dapat lagi nasa harap nyo. Tapos ilagay nyo yung patong nyo yung kamay mo doon. Sa, kunyari may zipper yung bag nyo, lagay nyo yung kamay nyo doon sa zipper, yung hindi mo bubuksan. Basta laging nasa mata nyo. Huwag nyo ilalagay sa likod. Kunyari ako dito sa Pilipinas, sanay ako na yung bag ko nasa side or nasa likod. Dapat nasa harap siya. Tapos wag na lang kayo maglagay ng something sa back pocket or kahit sa front, dito sa front pocket. So wag na rin kasi madali lang siyang dukutin eh. Like, yung normal nga na tao, kayang-kayang dukutin yan eh. Yung pang-trained for it, yung daming experience.
Eh ako that time, masikip na ng shorts ko. As in, ang lalim pa ng bulsa. Pero
nakuha pa rin.
Tapos muntik pa nila makuha yung laman nung bag ko. Muntika lang naman. Buti na lang yung camera bag. May clip-on, tapos super lalim ng bulsa, tapos may zipper din sa loob. If you're traveling abroad, parang lalo sa Europe, make sure na mag-invest kayo sa gamit. Yung kung saan nyo ilalagay yung mga important things ninyo. Lalo na pera, tsaka cellphone.
Yun. And if you're traveling as a group or like in pairs, always protect each other. Body system, watch out for each other. Basta parang batayan nyo yung isa't isa. Kapag nakikita nyo na may lumalapit dito, merong unusually getting too close na or may bumangga, anuhin nyo na, bantayan nyo agad siya. Kaya mas okay kapag may kasama ka rin nagta-travel eh, kasi at least dalawa kayo na nagbabantay. So kunyari, kapag alam ko may na-detect na akong scam, ito, maraming beses na nangyari sa atin na isa sa atin may na-detect na scam, tapos sabihin natin, "Ops, oy, Vince, scam yung pag lumapit yan sa'yo."
Ako, ang ginagawa ko, hinihila ko agad.
At saka maganda rin yung may nagre-remind sa'yo. Minsan nakakalimutan natin eh. Pag sasakay tayo ng metro, alam mo, minsan naglalakad kami, sabihin ko lang sa kanya, "Uy, bag in the front." Yun. Bag.
Basta kami, ganun kami palagi. Parang, yung cellphone mo, nandiyan pa ba? Pating ganun, chine-check namin yung mga isa't isa. Pero yung
one instance lang.
Yung one instance na yun, kasi parang ang nangyari is, pumunta kaya sa ibang exit. Nasa kabilang car. Yun nga, kaya sinasabi namin dapat on guard ka kasi medyo nakababa yung guard namin nun kasi number one, it wasn't our first time in Athens. So, we were a little bit more relaxed kasi 'di ba when you've been to that place already, mas kampante ka na. So, medyo kumampante lang din talaga kami. Yun. So we're gonna create a complete, it's been a long discussion already, but we're gonna create a completely separate video on how to avoid pickpockets when we travel. Yes.
So yun! So those are the 15 scams that you should watch out for and avoid when you're traveling around Europe.
Yes.
Hopefully nakatulong yung video na to sa inyo, lalo na if you have plans to visit Europe soon. And if you have questions, comment lang kayo. Sound off in the comment section below or message us on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram na rin.
If you like this video, please don't forget to leave a like and comment on the comment section below. And share nyo din sa mga friends nyo na malapit na pumunta ng Europe.
So again, this is our third video in our Europe series. So if you want to watch more of our Europe videos, don't forget to subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button and
clicking the bell icon for instant notifications for our future uploads.
So that's it for now. See you again next time, and may the goals be with you.
Bye-bye!